Boys, today we're going to be reacting to a video by Ryan Ng, I believe is how you pronounce that name, called Why YouTubers Will Never Be Mainstream, which doesn't sound good for me, but let's get into it. The following message is a real email I sent to my college professor in 2018.
Dear Professor Cloak.
Yo, cool
I was
name.
wondering if I could get your opinion on something. As you know, like everyone else in this school, I have big dreams of becoming a filmmaker. But I guess recently, I've had this gut feeling that the traditional path isn't the way to go anymore. I don't know, maybe I'm just being dumb and naive, but in my eyes, something is about to change Hollywood in a really big way.
Worst rating.
Netflix is done. Done. Professor Cloak, I guess I was just wondering, what are your thoughts on YouTube?
I wonder what he's going to say about this, because I feel like YouTube has such great potential to change the mainstream film industry. Has it yet? Not necessarily. I feel like a lot of people get their start on there, and it's exposed more people to the fact that anyone can do this, and that comes with anything, really. With anything, I think the thing that's changed the film industry the most is shit like Netflix and Hulu, you know, Disney Plus, because they're just doing it on their own, which isn't necessarily a good thing because they're fucking giant mega corporations. But I don't know. Let's keep seeing what he's saying. The YouTube New Wave presents. All right.
Okay, so it's been more than 4 years since I emailed my film professor about starting a YouTube channel.
Dude, the fact that 2018 is 4 years ago, fuck, it hasn't been 4, it's been 5. I'm not a fan of that.
About shifting my focus away from the film industry into this world. And I know how silly this decision might look, that as an aspiring filmmaker, I would commit to a world of amateur content.
No, bro. I'm sorry, dude. It is so much easier to make it in YouTube than it is with film, bro. You know how many short film creators there are? I mean, there's tons of small YouTubers, but I feel like anything that's almost entirely set in a digital space is going to get easier to break into. Not necessarily blow up on and be the biggest, but it's going to be easier to, I guess, get to a point where you can make a living off of it. Because making a living off of movies when you're doing like short film circuit and shit like that, good luck, man. Good luck.
But what if I told you that some of the most important artists and filmmakers of our generation have already begun their careers here on YouTube?
He's right. I guarantee the next, like, I don't know, Quentin Tarantino of our generation, or the next Steven Spielberg, or the next, like, Martin Scorsese, they're probably on YouTube right now making a fucking video, like, working on shit. Probably on TikTok, too. Dude, the shit I see on TikTok of these kids who make these fucking crazy-ass, like, short film cinematography fucking bullshit, dude. It's not bullshit, it's cool, but it's insane. I feel like any director who's gonna be huge in the next, like, 20, 30 years or more, who's, like, my generation, like Gen Z, you'll be able to look up the shit they did like now when they were a kid, just like messing around. It's gonna be really interesting, I feel.
Over the last 4 years, I've seen the stars align perfectly for a collision between YouTube and Hollywood that will change the world of media forever.
For sure. I mean, Markiplier got nominated for an Emmy. I feel like that's just the beginning. It's just going to keep growing.
And the blueprint to get there? Well, it's clearer than you might think. Let me explain. This video is brought to you by Creative Juice, the
Never heard of
simplest
this.
platform for creators. I mean, at first, I couldn't believe it either. A one-stop shop for all my business needs.
No way. That's actually really
Juice
cool.
Really did have everything covered. All my expenses, my taxes, my invoicing, my income.
If it specifically helps creators, that's actually really, really cool to see. I've never seen that.
There was even an option to get funding for my YouTube channel. With Juice, it felt like I had more control over my business than ever before. I mean, if I could manage all my finances here, that meant less confusion, less stress, and even more time to tell my stories. If you're a creator like myself who needs a simple and easy way to manage your business, sign up for Juice today in the link below at getjuice.com.
Hey man, I would if I had monetization, but we're not there yet, brother. And that's why you need to like and subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment down below what you think so far. Or wait till the end. Probably a good idea. Or lost count. Oh no, he's going back in time. Is he gonna go negatives?
Okay, so before I explain to you how YouTube will completely change the film industry, I have to tell you about how this all started.
Our next guests are two of the most popular people in your house, whether you know it or not. Please welcome Mark Rober and Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast, maybe. I love Mark Rober, but I feel like he's not like a household name when it comes to like kids watching YouTube, because he's all science shit. He's fucking phenomenal though. I definitely recommend checking him out if you haven't. I don't know how you wouldn't. Bro gets like 20 million views per video at least.
This story starts more than a decade ago. Before Mr. Beast, before YouTubers were landing shows on national television, and way before being a creator was considered a legitimate job. This is the brief history of YouTubers in Hollywood.
Let me think. A history of YouTubers in Hollywood. You've got Fred back in like 09 or probably later, like 2011. The Smosh movie, but that wasn't until like 2014. I feel like it would be Fred, right? I feel like Jenna Marbles was in something though. I don't know. I guess we'll see. I'm just trying to think because I've been on this platform for a very fucking long time, man. This isn't my first channel. So I'm interested to see what he'll like cherry pick. The golden days, baby.
2005. YouTube is a fresh Silicon Valley startup. The original idea to create a dating website had just transformed into a video sharing platform.
Yes, sir.
And this was what people were uploading.
Hello, my name is Bob, and we will be teaching you how to be ninja. Hana, hoo! Everybody was
Flooding with teenagers sharing their home videos, 2005 YouTube quickly became a hub
Ian,
for youth
dude, chocolate rain.
experiment. After all, this was the first time in history that a random kid could broadcast their ideas to the world.
Hello, people of the world.
Bo Burnham, dude. So many people don't know Bo Burnham started as a YouTuber. He used to upload little like comedy videos. It was great.
It was a groundbreaking way to use the internet, and the millennial teens couldn't get enough of it.
And the Gen Z children who shouldn't have been on the internet were there too, bro. Trust me, I was there.
You didn't need a $20,000 camera or a crew of 50 to reach millions.
This is just a quick video to let y'all know how things are going.
Ow, Charlie!
He's definitely gonna mention Fred.
As the word of a free video sharing platform continued to spread, it didn't take long for a few dreamers to make real use of YouTube's freedom. Equipped with whatever film gear they could scrap together, young artists began sharing their big ideas on the platform,
For sure.
making cheap web series and comedy skits in hopes that Hollywood's elite was listening.
I don't necessarily think the point of a lot of the short films or any creative things people were posting on YouTube was to be noticed by like Hollywood, because that wouldn't even cross people's minds back then, because YouTube wasn't like, it was known, but you knew it for funny cat videos, you know, that was literally a meme. And no one was posting stuff to get discovered back then. They're posting it just because they wanted to make stuff and they wanted to share it with people. That was the beauty of YouTube back in the day. You know, even if when people did start making money, it wasn't a lot of money. It wasn't a lot of money at all. But it started with people showing off their hobbies or just showing off, you know, tricks in games or whatever. And it just grew from there. It's crazy to think of how the landscape of the internet has changed in YouTube, especially with all the fucking rules. You know, you could say literally anything back then and you wouldn't get in trouble, which has its ups and downs, of course. There's certain things you should not say on the internet or in general, because you're just a bad person. But, you know, when it gets to a point where you can't even just like swear in a video, Not a fan of that.
He dumped you?
The videos were bare, with unedited audio and terrible camera quality, but none of that seemed to matter.
They were the
getting
best,
their vision
though.
out there, and maybe that's all they needed
Is that
for
Donald?
Hollywood to come knocking.
He's funny, he's filthy, and he's gotten over 20 million views on his YouTube.
I forgot
and he's
about
only 18
this.
years old. Thank God you're
He's gonna sing "Welcome to YouTube."
18 at least. He's here to play his world premiere of his new song, Welcome to YouTube.
Or you know that bitch stank. Might have to cut that out.
Come on, everybody, make some noise for Bo Burnham!
It's so crazy to be here right now. I cannot believe.
As a few early creators began moving out of their bedrooms into real film sets, the race to conquer Hollywood had officially begun.
My time is now.
There he is. There he is.
Suddenly, YouTube had become a popular stepping stone for the youth to make it into the big leagues.
Did Donald Glover start from YouTube? Because I know he started on Community. I thought he just started as like that. I've never seen a video from him. That's crazy. Because I've seen Bo Burnham back then. You know, you see like Fred and all that. I never saw Donald Glover. He's like surpassed that. He is like A-list. I feel he's in fucking Star Wars, bro. And he's Childish Gambino. If that's true, that's wild.
A new path to fame was being paved, and as creators went from simple webcams to videos that looked more like Netflix shows, Hollywood began paying more attention.
Freddie W, bro, he was like the start of that, like higher production YouTube videos. I miss Freddie W, bro. I wonder what he's doing. I hope he's thriving, whatever he's doing. I'm sure he still posts somewhere. Freddie W was like one of the first YouTubers I watched that made me want to do YouTube in the first place.
So I want people to know I'm an alpha male. You really gonna be getting married?
They may have been amateurs at their craft, but there was no
Casey, of
denying the
course.
power of these so-called YouTubers.
Casey changed the entire website when he did his daily vlog. There was nothing better on YouTube. If you weren't there, bro, you missed out. That's all I gotta say.
They were gaining millions of views. Their communities consistently showed up, and the opportunity to capitalize on this newfound fame was too good to ignore.
Your girl is getting her own NBC late night show.
Who is this bitch? I feel like, what is her name? Was she the chick with the terrible show on YouTube, originals? I don't know, man. Comment it below if you know what I'm talking about.
This was it. This was the beginning of the end for traditional Hollywood, and it looked like it was happening faster than we'd expected, right?
Not necessarily, no. Yeah, okay, yeah, Lily Singh, yeah. Because that shit was fucking terrible.
Hey guy, Lily Singh's talk show is bad.
But did anyone expect it to be good? That's the thing, right? Because, like, Markiplier just announced he's making a feature film. If Markiplier fucks that up, I would be shocked, because his attention to detail and plus his track record, like with In Space with Markiplier and shit like that, I'd be shocked. But Lily Singh, who thought it would be good? That's not a diss on YouTube, man. That's a diss on her.
The jokes aren't funny, but her delivery makes them even worse.
What did The Rock say to the flower? Okay, bloomer.
Oh, that's not even the show I was thinking of. I'll put it on screen what I'm thinking of. This chick had a YouTube original show. It was like a sitcom type thing, and it was hard to sit through would be an understatement of how bad that show was. It's like Ant-Man 3.
Skinny jeans, favorite jeans, mom jeans. Sounds like a dope Genuine song. You know what I'm saying?
As Hollywood continued to push out movie after movie, it seemed like the vision for YouTube's future on the big screen wasn't going as planned.
Because they're cheap cash grabs, though. If you look at how the Smosh movie was made, I see how... I don't know if Ian's talked about it. I've seen Anthony talk about it. They didn't have much creative control from what I'm aware of, and it's just a cheap cash grab, because they're like, oh, Smosh, they're popping right now. Let's give them a movie. Fred, they're popping. Let's give them a movie. It's not people making shit themselves. It's a network or a company saying, okay, let's bring them in and make this for them, not with them, or have them make it, because there's a lot of creative fucking people who have great ideas on YouTube, man.
What started as a string of coincidentally bad movies and shows quickly became the norm. No matter how popular you were, no matter how strong your YouTube community was, it felt like fans were more interested in buying your $50 sweatshirts than in your $10 movie tickets. But why? Why did something that felt so obvious fail so terribly? What could we have been missing? I mean, sure, they had millions of subscribers, but was their amateur nature prepared for Hollywood? Maybe they just weren't ready to handle million-dollar budgets. Or maybe their one-man productions would simply never translate onto the big screen. Maybe Hollywood really was safe from YouTube this whole time. After all, how could a century-old industry ever work with YouTube? YouTube was for amateurs, content made for 10-year-olds, and Hollywood was for the professionals, where stories have depth and fame lasts longer than 15 minutes. There was nothing to compare, no competition for Hollywood, and everyone seemed to know it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're in Las Vegas. Welcome back to Impulse, the number one podcast in the world. Thank you for watching, viewing, listening, subscribing, however you view and digest this podcast. We love you. We have a special guest today, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mr. Beast.
I am absolutely stunned by the amount of people that have traveled here from cross-country, out of the country, and some have never even tried one of these burgers.
I don't know, but I guarantee it's highlight worthy.
Within the span of a few years, a new class of creators had arrived. And this time, things were going to be different. While many YouTubers were still navigating traditional Hollywood, these creators weren't concerned with leaving the platform.
Which is exactly the way it should be. Focus on your platform, build it as big as you can, and like, look, the perfect example. I mean, he hasn't done some great shit, but Logan Paul, he's making bank, bro. And he did that by building his platform as big as he could and slowly branching out. He didn't jump to a fucking Hollywood movie. I mean, he had Plane or whatever the fuck, but that doesn't count. The way he did it is great, and the way Mr. Beast does it, I mean, obviously, he's fucking Mr. Beast. He's literally transcended YouTuber. He's like he's a household name. He's the first. Yeah, I would say he's the first household name for YouTube that people know. And when I say people, I mean people outside of our space. Because I would say PewDiePie would be a household name, but that's for our generation, right? Obviously, probably most people, even older people now, if you mention PewDiePie, they're gonna like, oh, I've heard of that guy. That's it. If you mention Mr. Beast, bro, they know his fucking face. They know his chocolate bar. They know his fucking burgers. They know everything because he's in stores now. And even before he was in stores, he's up there, bro. But I feel like him saying YouTube should compete, or not should, but you know, YouTubers trying to compete with Hollywood, replace Hollywood. YouTube will never replace Hollywood, but it could become a part of Hollywood. And what I mean by that is I feel like YouTube could become a place where people starting out as directors or filmmakers, and they already do this, post it on there, and it's sort of like a proving ground. You know what I mean? And beyond that, I'm sure there's going to be people who solely make movies onto YouTube, like big budget feature films. I could definitely see that in the future, unless YouTube really fucks up their monetization and shit more than it already is. But either way, if not YouTube, some other platform, I could definitely see it where people just post their fucking movies, man. Because at the end of the day, you're still gonna be making money, and a lot of people don't, especially with this movement of, I feel like no one fucking likes the big corporations right now. I don't. Who does? Right? You don't want to fucking, I mean, obviously everyone wants money, but if there's some like individual who has the budget or is able to get the budget because they're a good director and can put these movies out on the internet without having to go to a big fucking company like Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever, I feel like it could change shit because people see that and be like, oh shit, he did that, why can't I? Which is already what people are doing with YouTube. I mean, Logan Paul, he's a fucking WWE wrestler, bro. What the fuck? And he fought Floyd Mayweather? What the fuck? He's a fucking YouTube, he's the Vine guy, you know? It's just the reach nowadays is incredible. And I love to see it, man. I cannot wait to see what this landscape is 10 years ahead. Because think of how it was 10 years ago. It was nothing like this. For better, for worse, it's become very mainstream, and it's still not even at the precipice of how much it could be. So I'm really looking forward to the future of online content.
Their media empires on their home turf.
Thank you for watching the video. Prime Hydration coming to a Walmart near you.
It is fucking good too. Please sponsor me.
Was here. on the shoulders of Mr. Beast and the rise of spectacle content, where the multi-billion-dollar creator industry would skyrocket.
We are the murderers there. That with the jail and we murdered the murderers there.
In just 15 years, YouTubers had managed to pull audiences the size of the Super Bowl. They were building generational wealth, and their businesses were shaking up all kinds of industries. For the first time, YouTube was outperforming Hollywood. And as streaming platforms and theaters continued to underperform, it looked like it was time to reevaluate the creator industry.
Dude, this guy needs to clean his fucking monitor. I'm sorry, man. It is bugging me. Just wipe that shit down before you record this. It's probably an aesthetic choice, but Jesus.
Maybe it really was the future. Okay, wait, hold on. What's going on here? We've just gone through 15 years of YouTube history, and despite all the hype, we're still having the same conversations we had in 2005, contemplating the potential of YouTubers in Hollywood. As Addison Rae's movie comes out to horrible reviews,
Did
and
not know
David
she made
Dobrik's
one.
show falls on deaf ears.
Didn't know he made one.
Feels like the same story continues to repeat itself.
But again, who would expect those creators to make a good show? I fucking wouldn't. I'm sorry, man. Have you watched a David Dobrik vlog? The format is well done, but the guy is fucking intolerable, personally. I know people love him. Not for me, sorry.
No matter how hard YouTubers
And Addison Rae, do I even have to explain?
try to imitate and follow Hollywood, they will always be YouTubers. But what if that was the problem? What if this whole time we were actually getting rid of everything that made us special?
Yeah, I was about to say, he's saying we're just YouTubers, but you got to redefine that, man, because that could just be the new way of doing it. But also at the same time, like I said, YouTube's not going to replace Hollywood, and Hollywood's not going to overtake YouTube. They can just be their own things, and they're great things. I love Hollywood movies, and I really love YouTube. Because that's like the thing of like Lil Yachty or whoever is like, oh, I'm not a rapper, I'm a musician. You're both, motherfucker. When someone says they're just a rapper, it's like saying someone's just a singer, because it's a style. It's pretty much their instrument, right? You don't say someone's just a guitarist to put them down, because that is what that's their instrument, right? The singer, they sing, that's their instrument. Rapping, the same thing. And YouTube, there's nothing wrong with being... I love the word YouTuber, bro. I just feel like people need to realize it doesn't need to be Hollywood, because it's its own thing. And it's great, because a lot of the shit you can do on YouTube, yeah, they have restrictions, but you can't put that shit on TV. Nothing close. And it's so much more real for that. And that's the charm. And as time goes on, YouTube is killing that charm by enforcing more rules. But like they just changed today, probably tomorrow by the time you see this, they're honing back the rules on swearing on YouTube, which fucking made my day.
What if the answer to break into Hollywood was so much simpler than we realized? Maybe they are right. Maybe YouTube is for the amateurs, for the kids in their bedrooms and the filmmakers that can only afford to shoot on their iPhones. But in a Hollywood where $1 million budgets are normal, maybe that's exactly what we need. A new generation of artists who grew up creating in their bedrooms, who are searching for a more democratized Hollywood. And the movement to make that happen, well, it's already begun.
Cheers to our future selves.
Cheers to the future selves.
Cheers to our past selves.
But it doesn't begin with the YouTube late night shows, or the poorly rated movies, or even Mr. Beast's $1 million spectacles. It begins here, in the humble spaces of childhood bedrooms, where vlogs are being taken as seriously as Netflix films. In a world where our Instagram and YouTube feeds are filled with unrealistic expectations, it's more important than ever that we break down the iron gates of Hollywood, that we build a world where meaningful stories can't be silenced by producers and millions of artists can share their tiny corner of the world. In the future of storytelling, everybody is invited to create, and the next great artists, well, they can come from anywhere.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you too. I love you.
Slow and sudden.
That was
Hey
a great
guys,
video,
I hope
man.
you enjoyed watching this video.
I did. I would definitely recommend checking this guy out, Ryan Ng. Sorry, I'm bad at name pronunciations, but he makes great shit. And I was gonna bring up, and he has a video about this, so I'm not gonna go too much in detail because I would definitely recommend checking out his video. But he basically compared YouTube and Hollywood to streetwear and high fashion, and how over time they kind of stopped being separate things. I mean, obviously high fashion and streetwear are still different things, but there are elements of streetwear now incorporated in high fashion to the point where sometimes it just looks like streetwear, but it's considered kind of both. And I feel like YouTube is kind of like that. It can take elements from Hollywood, and Hollywood over time will take more elements from it, hopefully. And they just kind of, you know, which is what I think would be great. But yeah, definitely check out this guy's channel. He makes really phenomenal content, kind of a mix of vlogs, video essays, and like a movie almost all in one. It's really great shit. But yeah, I hope you really enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on the bell. All that stuff helps more than you know. So yeah, see you. Yo, editor Chumley here. I just wanted to throw this in at the end. It's a clip from CoffeeZilla. He was just on Joe Rogan's podcast, and I felt like what he said in this clip pretty well reflected what I was trying to get across in this video. So I don't know if I worded it very well, but what he says in the next clip is pretty much what I was trying to say. So yeah, enjoy. See.
There is no difference between YouTube and like Hollywood besides just a little bit of knowledge. A little bit like insider, like they kind of know tricks. There's tricks of the trade. They kind of have a little bit more money. But I was like, you can hack this together now.
Yes.
Like you can figure out ways to kind of like almost get to like a Netflix. Like, so that's my dream, is to start pushing for like real like documentaries or mini documentaries on YouTube that look like they could be on a Netflix or something like that, but never go to Netflix.
Yeah.
Like never take the deal. Like never go to the producer.
Yeah.
Just always be doing it yourself.